Hello, this video is for EDL 856, School Community Relations, Module 1. My name is Nicholas Junker. I'm currently the social studies teacher at Clifton Clyde High School in Clyde, Kansas. I teach American history, American government, world history, social studies to 8th graders, which is American history from early constitutional period until after Civil War Reconstruction to the Gilded Age. My community in Clyde is a small community. The school district itself is about 300 students overall. And like I said, it's Clifton Clyde. I figured that you might ascertain that it's in two separate towns. They're about 7 to 10 minutes apart. The high school, which is 8 through 12 building, is in Clyde, which is where I work. And the other two buildings, there's our middle school and a grade school, are both in Clifton, Kansas. We have about 120 in our high school, which is where I'm at, and then the rest are in the other two buildings. So what I believe is important in regards to school community relations is that sometimes in small schools and even big schools as well, you can have a disconnect between the two institutions. It is vitally important to make sure that communities have a stake in your district, your school, and your overall outcomes for your students. A lot of the time, your general hope for in a community is that your students come back, fill your community, make sure that they come back and have good jobs, make sure they do what's right so you can have a sustainable ecosystem in your community. And so what that means is you have to develop your school and your community to be able to meet those needs. And so one of the first things that I think is important for you to do is to build ownership and buy-in with your community. Your community will not come to you. You need to go out to your community, get out, build buy-in and ownership through building bridges. And that means reaching out to business owners, community members, county officials, city officials, anybody and everybody will engage with you in the process of helping you make your school better. And so that way you can slowly develop that relationship. Every study, academic study that you look at shows that if people are able to buy in, have leadership roles and responsibility, then they are more likely to be an active stakeholder in your school. Things looking at community partnerships, which would be important, I think, are you could have internships, you have job shadowing. Those things are important. And getting their alumni to come back. We just had our alumni basketball game here over Christmas break, and our head coach and I were talking about how important it was that they had that buy-in, they had that that ownership. They came back to our community to engage in an activity at the school. I would like that it could be more than sports, but if that's the bridge we have to do to get there, to get them involved in curriculum and outcomes, then that's the bridge. At our school, we currently engage in a lot of school and community relations. I think for a small school, our administrators and our teachers even do a pretty good job. Our teachers maybe not as much, including myself. I could definitely do better, and I'll preface that later. But I think our administration does a pretty good job. We have a very active website, social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook. And we also have a monthly newsletter that goes out on an electronic platform and is also delivered to various places out in the community, both in Clyde and in Clifton. And so that way each person can reach out. We also have a nice new marquee that we built in the last 2 years. I was not here for that, but apparently it was not nice prior. It's one of those things about building that community and that relationship as you go forward. Your community also has got to meet you halfway, because it has to be able to give you that feedback about what you need or what they need out of the graduates coming out of your school. We did a survey in our community. It was about what you want out of your graduates. What do you think should be the most important things at your school? Things of that nature. And we got some really good data back. And I think that's one of those things we have to be able to, because we want those students, those people to come back, move back to our communities, so that way we can continue to sustain, especially a small town like Clifton and Clyde, where we have 700 people in one community and 500 people in another. Small towns in rural America are dying, and so we have to be able to actively engage our community and what we need and the needs of those kids, so that way they can come back and make our community successful. things that I could improve my own community techniques is I have social media account for my school account. I have a Clifton Clyde Social Studies Twitter. I do not use that nearly as often as I should. A lot of the kids follow it. I would say that I am the most backward millennial you've probably ever met. Growing up in a small community, I think that I probably followed more traditional methods, but just like school and community relations, just like with students, you have to meet them where they are. You have to get ways to appeal to them and diversify your communication methods. Something that I'm looking at going forward is having an open door policy. I'll have to talk to my administrator about this because there's some liability issues here, but getting just regular people to come in, regular parents, just community members to come into my classroom just to ask questions about the school, just ask questions about my class, what's going on, why are you doing this, why are you doing that. Also, then me going to them, going out and getting out in town halls. We've talked about that with government, with elections, getting out and holding town halls, having my students engage community members in what they think or they feel, and getting them to have that reciprocal conversation. Also, something that we're looking at doing, and we are going to do here in the spring semester, is we're going to engage with veterans, getting out in the community. We have a pretty solid VFW in our community, and we're going to be able to build some of those community bridges going forward. Something I would like to do is I'd like to develop my own website. I had one when I was a teacher at Larned in my first job. I did not like the way that it worked. I did not like the way that I engaged with students in that way, but I think I could, and I could definitely make that work better. Something I think I should also do is I should go out in local non-school events. I think the more people feel that you buy into their community, not just in a school setting, the better off you are. I think that as you develop and cultivate those relationships, not about school and school, you can build so many more bridges and build that relationship. Schools and communities have to coexist in a way in which they help each other out, and that's what I hope to learn more about coming in this course. Thank you.